A billionaire came home, and his maid begged him to shut up. And the reason behind that will leave you in shock. The night had gone on too long. Kingsley Adebanjo had been stuck at one of those charity dinners, a hall filled with polished speeches, red wine that tasted more of dust than sweetness, and men who measured wealth in imported watches. He had smiled, shaken hands, scribbled a fat check for an orphanage, and slipped out quietly before midnight. By the time his driver dropped him in front of his glass-walled penthouse, Kingsley only wanted silence. His shoulders ached. His head throbbed. He longed for a stiff drink, maybe 10 minutes of peace, before collapsing into the bed he hadn't touched in almost a week. Inside, his penthouse should have been silent. It always was, but the moment Kingsley closed the door behind him, someone grabbed him. A hand clamped across his mouth. His body stiffened, ready to swing, ready to fight. "Don't make a sound," a voice whispered, a woman's voice soft but trembling. He froze, listening. The voice was familiar. He twisted slightly, and when she finally pulled her hand away, he turned sharply. "Amaka," he hissed, the new maid. The one the agency had sent 2 weeks ago. He barely noticed her most days. Always quiet, always careful. But tonight her eyes were not quiet. They were red, glistening, filled with something like fear. "What are you doing in my house at this hour?" Kingsley whispered fiercely. "Please," she said, her voice low but firm. "Don't raise your voice." "Why shouldn't I?" His eyes narrowed. He demanded to know why. The maid's next words would shatter his entire world. Her chin trembled before she spoke. "Because your son is sleepwalking, and if you wake him the wrong way, you could lose him." For a moment Kingsley thought he hadn't heard correctly. He stared at her. "My son?" "Yes." She looked down the hallway nervously. "It happens every night. About this time. I've been staying back to guide him. Tonight, he almost reached the stairs." Kingsley felt the weight of her words sink in like lead. He hadn't been home enough to notice. Not once. His boy, 7 years old, was wandering at night, and nobody had told him. Nobody but this maid. This stranger, who had dared cover his mouth to protect the child. Kingsley's voice softened. I didn't know." "No one else noticed," Amaka said. "I stayed back after my shift. I couldn't leave him like that." "You're not paid for that," he muttered. "I know," she replied simply. For the first time in years, Kingsley realized his wealth hadn't bought him the one thing that mattered: presence in his son's life. He sank onto the hallway bench. "Why didn't you come to me?" She shook her head. "I didn't think it mattered to you." His chest tightened. "I care about my son." "I believe that," Amaka said, her voice gentle. "But children don't feel belief. They feel your presence." Her words pierced him deeper than any insult at work. "Tonight," she continued, he walked past the stairwell, eyes wide open but still asleep. I stopped him. If I hadn't, she broke off, swallowing hard. I caught him just in time. Amaka stepped closer. "I know I shouldn't have touched you, covering your mouth like that." "You were protecting my boy," he cut in. "I should thank you." She lowered her gaze. "I didn't do it for thanks." He looked at her properly now. Young, mid-20s at most. Her eyes told the story of someone who had carried responsibility long before she entered this house. He opened his mouth to ask more, but soft footsteps cut through the silence. Both of them turned. A small figure appeared at the end of the corridor, barefoot, eyes half closed. "Daddy," the boy murmured. Kingsley shot to his feet. "Junior," Amaka whispered quickly. "Walk slowly. Don't startle him." Kingsley bent, opening his arms. "Come here, son." The boy stumbled forward, straight into his embrace. "I was looking for you," Junior whispered. Kingsley's throat tightened. "I'm here now." And for the first time in a long time, he meant it. Kingsley held his son close, feeling the boy's tiny frame. He hadn't realized how small Junior still was. Too many late flights, too many meetings, leaving him in the care of strangers. Junior clung to him as if afraid he would vanish again. Amaka stood a few steps back. She simply watched. "How long has this been happening?" he asked. "Since I started here," Amaka answered quietly. 7 times. Always after midnight. Always pacing, like he's looking for someone. Kingsley shut his eyes. "He thinks I left him," he murmured. Amaka hesitated. "I think he just misses you." She reached out to adjust a picture frame on the wall. A photo of Kingsley and Junior at the beach. Taken years ago. "You know," Amaka said, her voice low. "When I was a child, my mother worked nights. long hours. I would wait by the door, just to hear her voice when she came back. I didn't need gifts. I just needed to know she was there. Junior is still waiting at that door, she continued. Even if you don't see it. He had been building wealth, chasing contracts, while his son longed for something as simple as today. Junior stirred in his arms, whispering, "Is it morning?" Kingsley kissed his forehead. "Not yet, son. Still night. You're safe." Amaka finally moved closer. "He was holding my hand before you came in," she said softly. "Sometimes that's the only thing that calms him." Kingsley looked at her, with gratitude and guilt. "You've done more for him in 2 weeks than I have in months." "You don't need to say that," she replied. "I do, because it's true." Kingsley carried Junior back to his room. When he returned, Amaka was in the kitchen. 2 mugs sat on the counter. "You need something warm," she said. Kingsley leaned against the counter, exhausted, but strangely awake. "I'd like to keep you here." She didn't look up. "That's your choice. Not just as a maid," he added. That made her pause. "I need someone in this house who sees him the way you do, who actually cares about him." Finally, she turned. "You don't need to hire love, sir. You just need to be present." Kingsley didn't argue. He only nodded. "Then teach me. I want to learn." And for the first time in years, he wasn't making a business deal. He was making a promise. The next morning, inside, the house felt different. Kingsley sat at the dining table, watching Junior eat pancakes. He hadn't sat with him for breakfast in months. "Do you like them?" Kingsley asked. Junior's mouth was full, but he nodded happily. "Banana with cinnamon?" Kingsley looked toward the kitchen. Amaka glanced back briefly with the faintest smile. "From now on," Kingsley said, "I'll eat breakfast with you. Every morning." Junior looked up, eyes widening in disbelief. "Even when you have work?" "Even then," Kingsley said firmly. After breakfast, Kingsley helped Junior get ready for school. It was awkward at first, fumbling with shoelaces, but Junior laughed at his clumsiness. That laugh was worth everything. Later, Kingsley found Amaka. "I want to change things," he said suddenly. "I thought providing money was enough, but I was wrong. I want to be here. For real." Amaka studied him. Then she nodded slowly. "Then start small. Children remember patterns, not promises. Listen to him. Let him see your face when he wakes, and when he sleeps." The day passed differently. Kingsley canceled 2 meetings. He spent the afternoon working from home. By evening, when Junior returned, Kingsley was still there. The boy froze in the doorway. "Daddy?" "You didn't travel." Kingsley smiled. "No, I'm staying." Junior ran into his arms, and Kingsley felt a bond stitching itself back together. Fragile, but real. 2 weeks passed. The laughter of a child echoed in the rooms again. Kingsley learned the rhythm of bedtime stories, the patience of waiting for a child's words. Amaka remained steady, always present, always guiding. One evening, Kingsley found her at the door with her coat. "Amaka, thank you." She looked at him, uncertain. For what? For saving him that night. For teaching me what it means to be present. She shook her head. "You saved him yourself. I only kept watch until you came." He stepped closer. "No, you gave me back my son." From the hallway, Junior's small voice called, "Daddy?" Kingsley turned instantly. "I'm here, son." He rushed back, leaving Amaka standing quietly by the door. She smiled faintly, then slipped into the night. That night, as Kingsley tucked Junior in, he whispered, "I'm not going anywhere. From now on, when you wake, I'll be here." Junior's small arms wrapped around his neck. "Promise?" Kingsley kissed his forehead. "Promise." And for the first time in a very long time, he felt like more than a man with wealth. He felt like a father.